please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and stay standing for the invocation. Reverend Basio.
One of the reasons I remember that our city is founded in 1927 is because that was the year my father was born. And in case you don't know, we come out of Ecorse Township. That's kind of our parent, which was the big deal in the day. So cities have parents too. But I want to remind us as we pray that peace has parents also. It's the women and men who have hearts of peace that give birth to peace. So if we want peace, we have to be people of peace. And the Bible encourages me and others too to pray for peace. So I want to say thank you for allowing me to say hello from your chaplains, and please allow me to pray at this time. Lord, we thank you for this gathering. And Lord, we thank you that we have the chance to be people of peace because you're a Father of peace. So I ask, Lord, for peace in this world, for conflict to cease, for those who are hurting to be helped, and for these hands that are gathered here, watching here, serving here in this city to be hands of peace. And so, Lord, we thank you for this leadership in this time. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Michael, if you'll call the roll, please.
All right, Councilman Marcos.
Here.
Councilman Blevins.
Here.
Councilman Schlatt. Here. Councilman Valeris.
Here.
Councilman Lloyd.
Here.
Pro Tem Lally.
Here.
Mayor Gail McLeod.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mrs. Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Marcos. Any corrections or changes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from our regular meeting of September 26th?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Second by Mr. Blevins. Any corrections or changes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We have some wonderful presentations tonight, beginning with the swearing in of our Deputy Fire Chief, Eric Taylor.
Good evening. My name is Jeff O'Reilly. I'm the Allen Park Fire Department Chief. And tonight I would like to congratulate Eric Taylor for his promotion to Deputy Chief. Eric has been with the department 16 and a half years, and he's been a sergeant with the department for the past 2 years. Eric is currently working on his certifications, which include fire inspector, plan reviewer, and fire instructor, as part of the deputy chief position. I've known Eric for a long time, and I know he's going to do a great job as deputy chief.
All right, again, it is great honor. I've actually known Eric since high school, but we're not allowed to talk about it. Great guy, great guy. Good. Again, it is with honor here. I swear you in, and I'm going to read it to you. You don't have to repeat. You just at the end say, I swear, I do, I affirm, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Okay, raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of Deputy Fire Chief to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
I swear.
Oh, congratulations.
All right. Well, and again, it is a great night for the Allen Park Fire Department. I have 3 promotions that are coming through. I'd like to invite Richard Hamilton, Jason Pelty, and Christopher Clark up. Face wherever you like. That's the easy answer. So Richard Hamilton is being promoted tonight to the rank of sergeant. A sergeant is the beginning level of management in our department. Sergeants are usually in charge of the floor. They make sure all the daily tasks are done and assist the officer in charge on all calls. It begins the process of learning how to manage people and how to take charge and be a leader on scenes. I'd like to congratulate Sergeant Richard Hamilton. Next, I have engineers Jason Pelty and Christopher Clark. The engineer position, or the engineer rank, is a senior position on our department that would equal to a master chief level in the military. The engineer is someone who has mastered all our equipment and pumps on our fire engines. They're the ones that train everyone else on how to use that equipment properly and to manage it. Engineers are also the ones who take care of the firefighters on scene. Their first 5 minutes on any fire is chaos, organized chaos, getting all the equipment off, making sure everything is running properly. And then they become the mom of the department. They get us everything we need before we even need it. They make sure everything is working and started properly. They make sure that we have water and that we're not working too hard. And they also can make sure that anything that they see is unsafe, they're letting us know and taking care of. Most of the time, we never know what they really do. It just, all the things get done, and that's what engineers do. Engineer Jason Pelty has been with the department 9.5 years, has been a strong leader within our department, and I know that Engineer Pelty will continue to work hard and excel in this new position. Congratulations. Again, Engineer Christopher Clark has done a great job so far in his career. He's been with our department 8.5 years, and while he's soft-spoken, Engineer Clark is an outstanding firefighter and leader among the ranks. I know Engineer Clark will continue to excel in his new position. Congratulations. All right. Thank you.
Now, before you all leave, we're going to let the council make some comments to you. Usually, all of you escape before we get to say nice things about you, so we're going to go through comments at this point, and we'll start with Mr. Lally.
Yes, I want to congratulate Eric Taylor. I know you'll do a good job. I've been watching you for a long time. I know you'll be a good place to help the chief. I know you'll do a good job. And the sergeant, and you're doing a good. I know you guys follow the footsteps of the guys before you. So I know you'll do good. and congratulations, and I hope you stay in Island Park for a long time. Thank you.
Deputy Chief Taylor, I had the privilege of meeting you in our interviews, and I greatly appreciate that. I know from that experience you're going to do an amazing job stepping up into that role. And to Sergeant Hamilton and engineers Pelty and Clark, thank you guys for all you do. You know, I've lived in this community my entire life. Now that I have a 10-month-old, I check that carbon monoxide detector before I go to bed at night. And like, you know, I sleep a little bit better with my son in that bed, knowing that I have you guys that are ready to keep us safe. So thank you for everything you do for our community, and very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to restate what's been said already. You know, I think in recent events, it's like the huge fire at the senior residence in Southgate, just the importance of firefighters in general and what they do each and every day, you know, true heroes and lifesavers, and we just appreciate you doing what you do here in Allen Park. Thank you.
Mr. Slack.
Congratulations, everyone, for your promotions. I know you'll serve Allen Park well. Thank you.
Congrats to all the promotions. Thank you for your service every day, and just keep up the good work as always. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for staying with Allen Park and keeping us. This is the kind of people we like to have in our city. These firefighters take care of us. They're always watching out for us, and they're the kind of guys that bring other people into the city because they know that they're safe. So thank you all. Appreciate it very much. Thanks.
There's not much more to add to that. I've been very privileged to sit in on a number of interviews, and I have to say that they are very educational for those of us who do sit in on the interviews, because most people have no idea the depth of knowledge that our fire personnel have to have, and the rigors that they go through. And the more I am in contact and the more I am acquainted, the more I appreciate you. So thank you all very much. We're very happy to have you. And as my fellow council people have indicated, we hope that you remain here and end your careers here. Thank you very much.
Get those.
Now I'll move on to some organizational business this evening. I've got 2 proclamations. The first one is a proclamation for metastatic breast cancer awareness. We started on this journey some years ago when I was contacted by someone I know quite well, asking us if we would participate in awareness by lighting up the front of our building. And subsequently, we were able to engage Michelin, which now lights up the Uniroyal tire. And in fact, for the entire month of October, they light it in pink for cancer awareness. And on the 13th, they light it up for metastatic breast cancer. Again, a learning experience. I have known this woman for many years, and it wasn't until she brought this to my attention that I fully understood what she's been dealing with. Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day, October 13, 2023. Whereas October is recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, breast cancer being the most common type of cancer among women in the world, and the second leading cause of cancer death among women in the United States, with more than 1 in 8 women and 1 in 833 men in the U.S. diagnosed with breast cancer during their lives. And whereas metastatic breast cancer occurs when breast cancer spreads to other parts of the body, including the bones, lungs, liver, and brain, and regardless of early detection, approximately 30% of stage 0 to 3 breast cancers will return as stage 4. And whereas there is currently no cure for metastatic breast cancer, and the regimen to extend the best quality of life possible frequently involves trying one treatment after another. And whereas in an effort to combat this disease, the national organization Metaviver research and support funds critical stage 4 metastatic breast cancer research and education. And whereas in order to raise awareness, have designated the tricolors of teal, pink, and green. The teal for healing and spirituality, green for the triumph of spring over winter and life over death, and pink signifying the cancer originated in the breast. And whereas the City of Allen Park joins in a Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day efforts this October to shine a light on the need for awareness and funding in our community and throughout the country. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Gail McLeod, on behalf of the City of Allen Park and all of its elected officials, do hereby designate October 13, 2023 as Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day, and that City Hall and our police department will be lit in their colors on that night. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Allen Park, Michigan, be affixed this 10th day of October 2023. Our next proclamation is National Native American Heritage Month. Whereas the history and culture of our great nation have been significantly influenced by Native Americans and indigenous peoples, and whereas the contributions of Native Americans have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of Americans today, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout the United States, and whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976, and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designating the month of November as National Native American Heritage Month. And whereas in honor of National Native American Heritage Month, community celebrations as well as numerous cultural, artistic, educational, and historical activities have been planned. Now therefore, I, Gail McLeod, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the City of Allen Park, Michigan, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as National Native American Heritage Month in the City of Allen Park, and urge all citizens to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Allen Park, Michigan, be affixed this 10th day of October 2023. And before we move on to organizational business, I did want to mention one other thing. The Housing Commission at their next meeting on Monday, October 6th at 1 o'clock, will be recognizing one of their longstanding commission members, Mr. Herbert Weiss, who will be receiving a proclamation from Congressman Thanadar and a ring from the commission. Mr. Weiss turned 93 last February and is still an active member of the commission, and I will be attending and offering him a congratulatory letter on his long service. Apparently, he was appointed to the Housing Commission in 1989, and while he has had a break in his service, he is probably one of the longest-serving commission members we have in this city and quite active. So kudos to Mr. Weiss. And now it's your turn.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents of Allen Park. A few updates on projects going on here in the City of Allen Park. For the Rosedale Boulevard reconstruction project, Hard Rock Concrete is the contractor, and they'll finish the remaining punch list items in the spring. The Rosedale ADA ramps, they have been installed where needed on Rosedale Boulevard. The Reek Road reconstruction project, this is also Hard Rock Concrete. Reek Road is closed between Goddard Road and Allen Road except for local traffic. The road has been replaced from Goddard Road going north to the bridge. The east side of the road between the bridge Midway Avenue has been removed and was scheduled to be poured today. I do believe they did pour, as I did see a number of concrete trucks coming out of that area this morning. Beginning Wednesday, the crew will start removing the west side of Reek Road from Goddard Road to the bridge Midway Avenue. Paris Avenue reconstruction, that was Savone Cement. They have installed the sod, and there are some sprinkler lines that still need to be repaired on that project. Other than that, it is complete. Concrete sectioning program, also Savone Cement. The contractor finished a 500-foot section of Buckingham Court off of Goddard Road. The east side of Belfour Avenue between Ecorse Road and Philomene has been removed and is being prepped for a pour later this week. Once Belfour is finished, they will start a 400-foot section of Buckingham Avenue, also between Ecorse Road and Philomene Avenue. Once they finish that up, they'll wrap up for the season with utility repairs throughout the city and some small sectional areas also throughout the city. If you head down Allen Road on the north side here of Southfield Road, you'll notice that it appears Wayne County started to do a topographical survey of Allen Road between Southfield Road and Outer Drive, which is usually part of a design for future repairs. So they're out there making sure that they get everything ready to go. We just don't know when those repairs will take place. It's uncertain at this point in time, but it's still a good sign that they're at least moving forth with doing the topographical survey. Some really good news for the Elm Park Police Department. They were awarded a 2023 Bulletproof Vest Partnership grant from the Bureau of Justice Assistance. The award was for $5,564.50, which will be used for the National Institute of Justice Compliant Armored Vest. Elm Park Police Department was among 10 downriver police agencies that were awarded this grant. So congratulations to Chief Egan and his staff for getting that award for the department. Through a $70,000 in funding from the DDA, Parks and Recreation Department was able to start the renovation of the community park tennis courts. That'll involve a new surface, fencing, poles, and nets. The new courts will be painted for tennis and pickleball. So that was I know there, on Facebook there was a lot of good excitement about the pickleball aspect too. DDA also awarded $1,350 to the library for their Story Walk exhibit project. This project also received funding from the APCCF earlier this year. We're going to have a Shred Day Saturday, October 28th. The event will be held in the parking lot off of Philomene. That'll be behind the Prestige Banquet Hall, Culver's PNC Bank. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. As I said last time, no need to line up beforehand. If you get there at 10 o'clock, trust me, you're going to get through. There's usually nobody there between 10 and 10:30, 11 o'clock. I just shouldn't say nobody. It's a smaller flow. But you get to come see me. I'll be out there Saturday. I don't know who's going to be helping me. We'll find somebody to help me get it all set up. But it is a lot of fun. It is interesting what people throw away through Shred Day, though. It's very interesting. Lighted Christmas Parade will be on Park Avenue. That'll be held Friday, November 17th. That's going to be starting at 6:30. We also have an open house celebrating the community center's 20th anniversary. That'll take place on November 29th. There'll be a brief ceremony prior to the Elm Park Varsity Jaguars hockey game versus Birmingham United. And then finally, one more after this, but a big thank you to Pam and Wayne Smith for providing the barbecue last week for the police department and city hall staff. We do appreciate that. I was not in town, but I wonder, did the chili, the world famous chili, make its appearance?
It did, it was good.
All right. That was my only regret, that I was going to miss that chili, so I'll have to make sure I'm available next time. And then finally, we did receive this in from the American in Bloom. It was an award just for recognition of our overall impression from the American in Bloom group that was here. We were nominated for a number of other awards. Unfortunately, we did not win those awards, but we'll be happy to take this one, and we'll get it somewhere out here. A lot of work went into that. We're going to keep working together with them to help beautify the community. And we discussed this at the workshop last Tuesday, talking with Nancy Nick, who's the chairperson of the Historical Commission, about putting together a grant application for the Historical Museum for landscaping at the facility there that's highly needed. And we'll get that application out. That's due November 1st. So I'll have that ready for you at the 24th council meeting. That's everything I have.
May I have a motion to accept and file the administrator's report?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Blevins.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lally. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Now we come to public comments. Public is limited to 4 minutes. All we want is your name and the street on which you live. Please do not give us your full address. And the only other thing we ask is that you keep your comments civil.
Evening, Council. My name is Terry Cheney, and I live on Paris Street. Often, we've come to the podium, and you hear folks complaining, and I just wanted to compliment the Savone Company, and I wanted Council to know it. As you know, they tore our street up for about 6 months. While it was difficult at times, and it was, I want to say that the Savone folks did a great job of taking care of the senior citizens on the street, were very accommodating, and just did an overall great job. There were some delays that seemed to be rather long, if you will, but I just thought it was noteworthy to come and say that overall I thought they did a fine job. I have one other comment, and that was in the future, I would wonder if council or Parks and Recreation would look into coming back and really going through the park and doing a cleanup. It was severely damaged, if you will, during the street repair by the machinery, and there were some folks driving through the park, unfortunately. There are some trees also in the park that are quite dead and are concerned because they are going to fall down and hopefully not on someone. So with that, thank you.
Thank you.
If I can just add, appreciate Mr. Cheney's comments here. This was a longer project than just the road. Remember, they also had a water main replacement project that went in there as well. So double whammy at that time.
Good evening, Mark Bailey, Philomene. First of all, I'd like to thank all the departments in the city of Allen Park, from the DPS, Parks and Rec, the fire department, the police department, the council, and hundreds of businesses and organizations for supporting the Allen Park Elks Pumpkin Patch that I volunteered for. I don't know what year, but it's 35 years ago. So enjoy the program. On Saturday, we'll have 10th Street Tuesday at 6 o'clock, providing entertainment. Their first break. Then Neil Diamond will bless us with his presence. Then the band will come back, and when they take their next break, he's back. Elvis will be here. Then the band will close up the final. That's Saturday night on the full moon. Rest day Sunday, except we are picking pumpkins up starting this Sunday from the village. I vetoed the first run. They had a pumpkin walk this past weekend. I vetoed picking them up then, but we'll be doing it the next 3 weekends, meeting at ground zero of where the theater used to be, 9:30. If you've not done it before, it's quite an experience. If you have a truck or a trailer, 9:30, then we get over there, and then when all the humans are gone, we ride through and bring them all down to Park Avenue. So we'll be doing that for the next 3 weeks. Then on Sunday, Monday, Devil's Night, Raiders versus the Lions, and they're on TV, Monday Night Football. Tuesday, Halloween, Keith Brown, Buddy Keys is his name. Creepy Clyde will entertain outside. Scott Peistrack will entertain the overcapacity function of the special needs that have been coming. Some of them are in their 70s, closing in on 80 now. And more updates later. Hope you enjoy the lights on Park Avenue, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor Raymond Gusson-Quant. Last number of months I've been coming up here and giving you guys an idea to try to bring some money into the city. I've been asking you to go ahead and to look in the possibility of surcharging on the hotels $1, a minimum of $1 for anybody who uses it. We just, the wife and myself, Sandy and myself, just went to Mackinac. We went to see the colors, and we stayed overnight. And Sandy went ahead and brought it up. On the back of the plaque, on the door of one of the hotels, I will not say which one, they charge $4. Now that's the city itself, Mackinac City. I brought it up to say just $1. I even said 50 cents. So I'm gonna raise this up to $3.50. Okay? Look into it. You are paying it every time. Every time you guys buy a beer, every time you use a hotel in Wayne County, that money is going towards Cobo Hall expansion. So just look into it. It's not a big thing. And my understanding is another hotel is going to be going up. So that's another one. That'd be pretty good revenue. With that, have a nice night. Stay safe. Stay warm. Enjoy your night. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray.
Hi, Council. I'm Veronica Glenn. I live on Manor. I was wondering if there's any way that you can come look at our street from Allen Road to Midway to possibly have it redone at some point. You have to drive like you're drunk down the street, all the way down. If you drive down my street in your lane going speed limit, you're tearing up your vehicle both ways. I bought my truck 2 years ago and I need a front end replacement, everything replaced on the front end. During the day, you can see them. At night, not so much. It's pretty bad. So I would invite you to drive it just to see what I'm talking about. All the way down. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no further public coming forward, we'll close public comments, move on to the consent agenda. This evening's consent agenda consists of purchasing actions, finance actions, and licenses and permits. Those permits include the street closure for the DDA annual truck or treat on Park Avenue on Friday, October 27, the DDA Mark Bailey annual pumpkin patch on Tuesday, October 31st, and the homecoming parade for Cabrini High School is coming Friday, October the 13th, and of course the parade, our lighted Christmas parade on Friday, November 17th. I have a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd.
Second.
Second by Mr. Valerius. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried. Resolutions. Come to Resolution 1, which is to approve the employment agreement with Deputy Fire Chief Eric Taylor. Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. Comments or questions? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried. Congratulations. Trust me, there was never any doubt. Now we come to other business. And this evening, we have the first and second reading of proposed ordinance number 7, 2023. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd,
Second.
second by Mr. Marcos. Do we have any questions? May I have a vote, please? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Colvier?
First reading of proposed ordinance 07-2023, an ordinance of City of Ellen Park, Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 6, Finance, Division 4, conveyance or leases of lands of the city to authorize the sale of the real estate located at 6834 Park Avenue, tax ID 30-012-03-0199-001. Second reading by title only of proposed ordinance 07-2023, an ordinance of City of Ellen Park, Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 6, Finance, Division 4, conveyances or leases of lands of the city to authorize the sale of the real estate located at 6834 Park Ave, tax ID 30-012-03-0199-000. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a resolution, proposed ordinance, first and second reading of proposed ordinance number 8, 2023. I have a motion for that reading.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marcos.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
First reading by title only of proposed ordinance 08-2023, an ordinance of City of Ellen Park, Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 5, Boards, Commissions, Committees, and Authorities, by the repeal and readoption of Division 9, Festivities Commission, to update the division. Second reading of proposed ordinance number 08-2023, an ordinance of City of Ellen Park, Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 5, Boards, Commission, Committees, and Authorities, by the repeal and readoption of Division 9, Festivities Commission, to update the division.
Thank you. And that brings us to council comments. And this evening, we will start with Mr. Lally.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, with the horrific massacre taking place, please keep the people of Israel in your thoughts and prayers. Let's take a moment of silence, please. Thank you. I want to congratulate Ed Taylor for the position of Deputy Chief, your Sergeant Hamilton, and Pelty and Grant for the engineers. They will do a good job for you, and I'm sure they will. And if they don't, you take care of them. Okay. In Ellen Park, we are blessed to report all the great things that happened in our city this past couple weeks. The Ellen Park High School homecoming parade was excellent. I was asked to help judge all the floats. Congratulations to the freshman class for winning best float. And congrats to the Jags football team on their victory over Wyandotte. The high school football team also hosted a military appreciation night before their game on October the 6th to honor our veterans. I was very proud to be part of that event that evening. Many thanks goes to player Nick Preston, number 28, on the team. He escorted me to the field with all the other veterans that were recognized. The game was against Trenton, and, sorry, against Trenton. The Jags were victorious once again. What a game. I want to thank Tom Donosky, the entire coaching staff, and the players for all that you do. Let's keep this winning record going. We got one more game this Friday. That'll be it. The Allen Park Fire Department hosted an incredible open house that was extremely well attended. They had a great rescue demonstration along with fun activities for the kids. Thank you to Chief O'Reilly and the crew. Bravo. Thank you to Allen Park Class of 2024 for hosting meet and greet night tomorrow evening in the auditorium. Please plan to attend. As a candidate running for mayor, I look forward to participating in this great event. Allen Park has so much to be proud of. Now, this past week, I was very, very disappointed with the appalling destruction behavior and action by one of our own who is sitting up here today. There's a video circulating on social media showing the despicable conduct unbecoming of an elected representative of the citizens of Allen Park. This is unacceptable and shouldn't be tolerated. That said, and for the record, along with the thorough police investigation, I want a full and thorough investigation to be conducted by the Allen Park Board of Ethics to ensure complete transparency and accountability through the entire investigation. This won't be swept aside. Thank you for attending. Have a good evening. God bless you, especially the people of Israel at this time. See you tomorrow night. Thank you.
Mr. Lloyd.
As I often am, I was inspired by Pastor Bazio's words before council today. And I think it's, especially with the things going on around the world and the things going on in our own community, it's, I think, a very valuable reminder that he gave us that peace starts right here. That it's not something that happens accidentally. It's something where well-intentioned people make a conscious effort to act peacefully. And that's something that when there's a lot of chaos going on in the world, when there's disorder, I think it's a crucial thing that we practice. And I think that talking about the parents of it, I think a big part of that is compassion. Compassion for our fellow citizens, for our fellow human beings. And I think that when we go through these trying times, it's absolutely necessary that we remember that. That being said, I think it's worthwhile saying here. I was giving a little preview, but I was raised the son of a government teacher. My dad, we talked about like the importance of democracy and local government and things when I was growing up. Those lessons I learned like with please and thank you and look both ways before you cross the street. Like that's like a core part of who I am. It's something that I think is essential to my belief and my views of this world. And when we have problems in our democracy, I think it's really important to remember that there's built-in remedies to it. There is ways that the process is going to work that is going to rectify things and make it right. And so my urging, because I'm very fond of the people that I've worked up here with. I honestly, through the time, my last 4 years, I feel like we've built up a a family. You know, we've worked together, we've struggled together, we've argued, we've agreed. And it's from the bottom of my heart that I encourage everyone to be that parent of peace and to act with compassion and trust. Thank you so much and have a good night.
Mr. Valerius.
And as I often as, I'm inspired by my fellow councilmember Dan Lloyd's words. You know, during our city administrator's report, which is oftentimes pretty boring. But I mean, the very last thing, 16 items on this. But we had to wait till number 16 to thank people like Pam and Wayne Smith. And we talk about, you talk about showing compassion and doing things for others and treating people the way others should be treated. They're a classic example of that. And that, that just is proof positive that there's good in the world, for sure. And it's inspiring because they do so much for the people that do so much for our community, and it's well deserved. And again, I thank them for they do it out of the kindness of their heart, and to them it's probably no big deal, and they have fun doing it because I have yet to try this world famous chili. I work during the day when they're putting on these great events, and I don't get a chance to eat. But then I see the postings and everything else. I'm like, man, one day I'll be able to attend. But I appreciate everything that you do. You are an example of what others should partake in and do for others, and I thank you for that. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Mr. Schlack.
Recently, I did something out of frustration. I'm ashamed, and I acted with feeble judgment. I'm not making excuses for my actions. I'm asking for forgiveness to my colleagues, the city, my whole family. I'm embarrassed. My focus is on my family and our community. I ask you to leave my family out of anything, and please restrain from any sort of threats, and I yield.
Mr. Blevins.
Well, first, maybe we should make a resolution for the Smiths to come to a council meeting and make that chili, but thank you for what you guys do for the community. Again, like Matthew said, positive community is, I always say, stay positive. To Mr. Bazio, and with his prayers it's always uplifting, great, so thank you always for what you do at every meeting. Go Jags. We're almost gonna have a good record and stuff, and as I said before, great job to the Detroit Lions. 4-1, last time they were there was 1991, which was a great year because I was born that year, so just saying. Please make sure to support the farmers market. They will be still going on until the end of this month. Thank you to Parks and Recs and DDA for the community park, for the tennis courts and pickleball. That is one of the things when I was running, wanted to get fixed, and it's great to see that whole park now with the pavement of the streets, and again, just things are getting done in our city, some positive things. Keep supporting your local businesses, again, so that they can stay here forever, for years to come. I try my best to stay away from social media with people with comments and all that stuff that, oh, where's all the business going? And, local businesses, people start going on Amazon to do their business. And that's why I always say stay with local. And People retire, and it's like, it could be multiple things why business might be leaving and all that stuff. It's great to see on Rosedale sidewalks putting back. It does make a difference, especially those who like to walk at night. Again, wear bright colors, so especially during the morning and at night. It was a great time. A couple weeks ago, the beautification committee had a cleanup. Wonderful turnout. It's very interesting how much garbage there is going on one block. So please make sure you put your garbage, trash, cigarette butts, and all that stuff in the proper area and not just tossing it everywhere. We want to keep our city beautiful for a place to work, live, and play. For next month's election, please make sure to respect the workers because they are your neighbors, friends, family. They're not there to get in arguments or anything like that. They just want you to make sure your vote is counted. So please make sure to be respectful that day. Also, to those who, again, with the comments and stuff like, oh, well, here's the choices and stuff. Everyone, there was 28,000 residents. Everyone had the same amount of opportunity to pick up a petition to run for office. 11 people stepped up. So I know I'm not on it, but it's just I respect those who step up to try to make the city into a brighter future. And to the candidates, please remember, you're doing this for the residents. You're not doing this for yourself. You're not doing this for future whatever and all that stuff. It's to make the city to be a representative, to do what's right, and to make the city a great place to live, work, and play. With that, I hope everyone has a wonderful couple weeks. Please make sure tomorrow to go to the Meet the Candidate Night to get the information for those candidates at the Community Center for the Arts, at 7 p.m. And with that, God bless, stay positive, and I yield.
Thank you, Charles.
Part of the beauty of being last, everybody said everything already, which is kind of cool. But I did want to mention the Jags, of course, again, over Trenton, 42-14. I got a big one coming up this week. I believe it's against Carlson, who is 6-1, so it's going to be a tough game. But I think the Jags are going to have no problem with it. Thank everybody, your comments, the citizens that have come up and spoke. I really appreciate it. We'd like more of that as much as possible. Again, the Meet the Candidates night, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the high school, at the Community Arts Center. We'd like to see everybody there. I'm disappointed that Charles is not going to be on the stage. He's going to sit in the front rows and probably shooting rubber bands at us as we get up. Also, he mentioned the farmer's market. Yes, Fridays. I think there's 3 more left until the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken. Pastor Bazio, again, thank you for all your inspiration that you bring to us. We really appreciate it. It's needed at all times, believe me. Second to last, on October 19th, the Elks Club is having an Oktoberfest from 5:30 to 7:30, and they will be having pork and chicken schnitzel. And all proceeds go toward the adoption of a family for the holidays. This is the season, and they're starting right into with it. As you know, the Elks Club is a nonprofit. All they do is fundraisers. Everything they take goes to disabled veterans, disabled children, and items like the adopt a family. So please come. We don't often get to find pork and chicken schnitzel around Allen Park. So, and in closing, my last useless statements of the day. It's National Angel Food Cake And if I were only a drummer, it's Hug a Drummer Day. With that, hope to see you all tomorrow night at the Meet the Candidates, and thank you all for coming. Good night.
Thank you. Mr. Mizzy?
All right, Mayor, I'd like to thank you for recognizing Herb Weiss. He's one of our few around that were born in their house in Allen Park when it was all farmland. So it's good to see he's still around. I hadn't heard the news. I used to see him walking every day with his wife around our neighborhood, but unfortunately I hadn't seen him, but you said he did get moved. At least he's still going and he's good to go. I'd like to remind everybody there's a local election on November 7th. It's city races, mayor, clerk, treasurer, and 6 council seats. And it's kind of a historical first. We have as of right now, 1 registered write-in. So I want to say that very clearly. As of right now, there's 1 of this date, 10/10/23. The name cannot be given to you at the polls. The only way to obtain the name of the write-in or write-ins, if there's more, is either through their campaigns or by calling the clerk's office directly. Now, we won't have information. We will just clear-cut give you names. So please keep your eye out online and for campaign literature, because my office, we just don't want to get into anything like that. So I do also remind everybody that the precincts are all consolidated at the community center. Again, that is for this local election only. Come next year, every one of the elections scheduled so far will be at your normal precinct. So if you go to a church or the school, that's where you're going to be going. But again, this November, little election, we're going to do it here. Now for 2024, I'm going to probably be releasing a lot of videos online because there is going to be a lot of law changes for election. But personally, I want to get through November 7th first, and then I'll jump full force. And I believe it's February 28th is the presidential primary. So anyways, with that, I'd like to thank you all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Thank you, Mike. I will be very brief, and I will not be repetitive other than to say we are very pleased with what's happening in our police and fire departments with the training and promotions. And I, again, feel very privileged to have sat in on a number of interviews and in the selection process. The other thing that kind of got overlooked because no one comes to us for a proclamation is the fact that it's National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th through October 15th. And we'll have to delve into that a little more because obviously we have a very strong Hispanic heritage in the area. And in fact, many of our states originally were Hispanic. So we owe a great deal to that. With regard to others, I'm sitting here thinking, where has the time flown? It seems like only yesterday that we were all sitting here, new faces, a brand new council. Lots of things occurred in that period of time, and actually we are down to one last meeting. Yeah. One last meeting before the elections, and then the final meeting of saying goodbye and saying hello. I'm sitting here, and like many others, I am understanding why Mr. Blevins may not be running, but he knows that I am personally going to miss him. I got used to seeing him coming to meetings when I was Mayor Pro Tem. Always very positive, very knowledgeable, and I'm probably going to say this for the last night. But good luck to everyone. I don't think I have anything more to say. Thank you all for coming this evening. Stay warm, stay dry, and call for adjournment.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Third.
Motion.
Fourth.
I have one to my right, which will be Mr. Blevins, and I have one to my left, which will be Mr. Lloyd.
He's got a bigger mouth than
You know that. No microphone needed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned at 7 PM. Have a good evening.